spot where we're going to have our barn in a couple months, most likely. But we decided to move the location of the barn a little bit, which means there's 2 more trees that are in the way. Hunter and I just got this one down. We're going to work on this one next, right next to us here. The issue we have is that the tree is leaning completely opposite of the direction we want it to fall. So I'm going to take the John Deere, go up tall, and tie off a rope. Hunter's going to take the cat track loader, and he's going to pull on the rope as I cut the tree, and hopefully it falls the opposite direction from the way it naturally wants to fall. So here we go. You're tying these lines that they're gonna have a lot of tension on them, but you want to get them loose later. I usually use friction to give me a hand, so I'll wrap it around, but I'll cross over the initial line a couple times, and that's going to create a lot of friction on the rope to itself, and that way finally at the end when I tie a knot, I'll be able to undo it later. There won't really be any pressure on this knot. All the pressure is going to be in that bundle there. Like that. All right, let's do it. Well, never a dull moment. We're digging a foundation for my parents' house this week, and went to go start the backhoe, and it's got oil pouring out the front. So I just took the engine cover off and started to dig in just to find out what I'm up against before I really tear things apart. And it would seem as though the main hydraulic pump down here, it actually connects way in the back there. Looks like the seal on the back of that is leaking and dumping the fluid out. Of course, there's no way to get to the bolts to mount it or anything else without taking apart the whole front here and the radiator off and the supports and everything else. So it is what it is. We're working on a backhoe tonight, and I don't know, maybe I will put this off a little bit. It's supposed to be raining tomorrow. Got a nice day, I think Monday, so maybe I'll come back here and work on this on Monday, strip it down, get that out of there, and see if we can go find a new seal at the store, put it all back together again, and maybe have it up and running for the week. But we did ask my friend Adam, who owns the John Deere there. It was supposed to leave the property, and we asked if we could hang on to it just for another, maybe 2 weeks in case this thing dies again while we're digging. So that's today's or tonight's adventure. And I guess, hey, it gives us something to film for the next couple of days. So we'll follow along as I tear apart the Case 590. I got up this morning. It's a little bit easier to see things in daylight, and we got our radiator hoses disconnected on the 590 and down underneath here. I've been working on getting all the lines cleared from the radiator. That thing right down here. Oops, camera went crazy. This thing right here is the hydraulic pump that we've been trying to get at, but the radiator sits right down on top of it. You can't get at anything. So we're gonna lift this off with the Cat, which I guess I really haven't talked about too much. Cat's a new machine for us. Not new, but very low hours. Got it at 500 hours. Really wasn't looking for one. The old one we had was working fine, but when I was at this guy's house buying a bucket, he kind of made an offer to us for this machine that couldn't pass up. You know, him and his wife got talking a little bit and found out about what we're trying to do here at the farm with the nonprofit, and they made us a deal on this machine. So this thing's been great. It's incredibly faster and more precise than the old Scat Track we had. It's a Cat 247. Do have some issues that I'm going to have to tackle with it. We had algae in the fuel tank, so that was a big deal. Finally got that all cleared out. And then since I bought it in the winter, the tracks were completely caked in snow, and I couldn't see the fact that, let's see if we can get down there and look at it. Down in here, a whole bunch of lugs that sheared off studs on that main drive wheel. So kind of a big deal to take all the track off, take it all apart, and get into that. So there's, you know, pluses and minuses. Get a good deal, but you got to put the work into it. Truth is, almost nothing on this farm is purchased in operating condition. I pretty much buy everything that has a problem. People don't feel like working on it or don't feel like paying someone to work on it, can't afford it, and I jump on those deals and then just do it myself and save all the money, and at the end you got a great machine. So anyway, we'll try and vlog along and check out how this progress goes. We're about to lift the radiator assembly off now and get down to the pump. So we'll start tearing into this. Well, about an hour later, Cat was able to lift the whole assembly out. So one lesson I learned a while ago is do not follow the manual on some of this stuff. They want you to disassemble the radiator, then take apart the supports and take apart the cooler, and you can just disconnect the two radiator hoses, disconnect the hydraulic lines that go to the coolers underneath, and remove the entire assembly as one piece. Save you a lot of time. And then we finally got down to the hydraulic pump. It definitely involved more disassembly than I wanted. The coupler was supposed to stay on, and there's a spline in there, spline shaft, and it should have just pulled off of that. However, what I'm finding is I think it wiped out some of the splines and it's locked on there. So I got to make a decision. The seal that we're talking about that's been leaking is right in there. It's where that shaft goes through into the pump, and I'm gonna have to make a decision as to whether it's worth putting probably about a $2 seal into this pump, putting it all back together again and hoping for the best, or do you spend $1,000 and put the whole new assembly in and know that everything's brand new and never going to cause you a problem again? The reality is I could put that seal in, and then in a month the pump could blow or something like that could happen. It's still, you know, a 20-year-old almost pump, so it might be worth just replacing everything and knowing I'm good. Another thing on this machine, I'm noticing the fan belt here runs down around this pulley, and the hydraulic pump was right in here, which means if you ever blow a fan belt, break a fan belt, you would have to do this entire procedure that I'm doing right now just to replace a fan belt. So seeing that now, I'm absolutely going to go buy a fan belt and put that in place, so I don't have to worry about the belt in the future. But got it out. We'll make some decisions now as far as whether we're going to replace the seal or whether we're going to replace the whole pump. This room is finished grinding. He's still going on the rest of the room, but gets it right down to the concrete. That big machine over there. This is the room all ground down and primed, so down to nice fresh concrete, no linoleum glue left, and now they're gonna start pumping in the liquid floor leveler. So we'll get a shot of that once that gets going. They got a pretty cool pumping system that mixes it and pumps it at the same time continuously. So should have a nice level floor in a couple hours. So time to pour the leveling cement. This is the pump and mixer. Takes the dry concrete in the top there, brings it down through that screw down there, that green thing, mixes it with water in there, and then pumps it through the hose. We follow the hose into the house. We'll see the leveling cement coming out onto the floor to the end of the hose. So there it is, folks, the liquid floor leveler going down, and this floor was very wavy, and this material here these guys are spreading is going to level it all out, make it nice and flat, so that we can put down our hardwood flooring. I showed you the pump outside. This is the other end where the mix is coming out. And supposedly by tomorrow it'll be nice and hard and ready to go. I haven't mentioned much of this, but excavation has been completed for the addition. We're connecting these two buildings. Not sure if I mentioned that earlier or not, but today finished digging out the foundation for it. Start footings and concrete and foundation soon. There's a whole lot of pipes that have to run underneath this thing for sewer and water and electric and all kinds of stuff, but got a lot of dirt over here, and then that was about half of it. And then at some point I realized there's gonna be way too much dirt piling up here. And so we started hauling with the truck all day long and hauled it out back the property where the pole barn's gonna be to help level that out. So all done for today, and Joe from Applegate is gonna come back tomorrow. He's the contractor that's doing the addition for us, and he's gonna lay in some forms and rebar, and we'll stop back in and check on this project a little bit as it goes on. Coming in hot. That's good. Here's the end result of the footer that's been poured by Joe Applegate. It's about 12 inches thick and almost 2 feet wide in many locations. Obviously rebar inside, 4,000 PSI concrete with fiber. So we got a great footer here. Next step will be to pull these forms out of here and to start foundation work, block work, building up, so that we can eventually backfill all this, compact it, and pour a slab on top of it, and then it'll be stick framing from there. So good progress. Well, it's Saturday morning, and to sum up this week, let's see, we started off cutting down some trees for the future pole barn site. We broke a hydro pump on the Case 590. I didn't mention we blew a cylinder on the John Deere 410 as well, so both backhoes were down. I got the 590 going again, only to have it blow another hose on the swing cylinder, and fixed that, and then the next day blew another hose underneath the machine. We also blew a hydraulic cylinder on the roller compactor that we have, so we got that fixed. We had the contractors in to level the floor in my parents' house, and we had the foundation dug and footer poured for the new addition for their house. So all in all, pretty intense week. It was non-stop action every single day, all day long, sometimes into the evening with all the backhoe repairs. But at the end of the day, got a lot done in a week's time. So pretty happy with that, and we'll just keep trucking along and check on the progress as it happens. Thanks for watching.